everyone, my name is Nicolette Murphy, and today I'll present a sustainable solution that directly tackles one of the most urgent climate crises of our time, methane emissions. The focus of my project is specifically MethaneSAT, which is a cutting-edge satellite that was launched on March 4th, 2024, with the mission to monitor, study, and reduce global methane emissions. To start, what is MethaneSAT? MethaneSAT is a satellite specifically designed to detect and measure methane leaks from space. Unlike other satellites that monitor a broader range of gases like carbon dioxide, MethaneSAT strictly focuses on methane, which is the second most potent greenhouse gas in our atmosphere. According to an article written by Kelly Levin and Tova Siegel and published by Benzo's Earth Fund on March 4th, 2024, titled 4 Things to Know About MethaneSAT, the satellite taking climate surveillance to new heights, they state that MethaneSAT has the ability to monitor both oil and gas emissions by orbiting the Earth 15 times per day, roughly every 96 minutes. In addition, the satellite routinely keeps track of methane emissions from the top 50 areas that produce 80% of the world's oil and gas. As you can see in this image that I took directly from the MethaneSAT website itself, this image specifically highlights the problem areas that produce more than 80% of the gas and oil. The problem areas are highlighted in blue, pink, orange, and yellow, and then the white boxes that it highlights are where the MethaneSAT is scanning. Furthermore, MethaneSAT is capable of locating leaks with incredible precision. This satellite has the ability to pinpoint locations that typically produce the most methane, and even keep track of its own progress in reducing emissions over time. In addition, this revolutionary satellite was created with a device called a spectrometer, which is a scientific tool for measuring and separating the spectrum of components of a physical phenomenon like light or sound. This image that I took, that I give credit to Ball Aerospace, this was some of their engineers actually creating the spectrometer. A spectrometer can examine a number of physical characteristics such as mass or wavelength. That said, this technology allows the MethaneSAT to detect even the smallest methane leaks using light. Furthermore, compared to other methane detecting satellites, MethaneSAT makes it possible to measure the overall emissions over whole landscapes and identify sources in both dispersed locations like wetlands or landfills, or more concentrated like pipeline leaks. That said, this innovative source of technology was a result of collaboration from Ball Aerospace, which I previously mentioned, created the spectrometer. They also helped with the overall construction and the design of the satellite. Additionally, Carbon Mapper made contributions to the overall construction and layout of the methane detection system as well. The Environmental Defense Fund, which wholly owns MethaneSAT, and Project Drawdown were important non-profiters that contributed to the satellite's development. Additionally, the Smithsonian Astrophysical Observatory and Harvard University provide their methane research knowledge and experience to the overall satellite. And last but not least, the New Zealand Space Agency played a crucial role in the development of the satellite by helping put it into orbit. With all being said, why is this technology important? First, it's critical to recognize that methane is a major contributor to air pollution and one of the most potent greenhouse gases. In the battle against global warming, methane emissions pose a serious threat to our planet because of their powerful ability to trap heat in the atmosphere. In an article titled, "How is Methane Harmful to the Environment?" published on December 26, 2024 by the EnviroLiteracy team, they describe how a single molecule of methane traps 84 times more heat than a single molecule of CO2. Fortunately, the capabilities of the MethaneSAT satellite will guarantee that methane leaks are located and managed quickly, which will help alleviate the issue of global warming. With that in mind, methane emissions come from human activities such as landfills, livestock production, waste management, and agriculture and fossil fuels, as you can see right here in these images. That said, methane leaks are also linked to the production of ground-level ozone, a hazardous air pollutant that is bad for the environment. In this following image, it shows basically how ground-level ozone is created. Methane plays a huge role in how this is created. It breaks down VOCs, which reacts with nitrogen oxide and sunlight, And unlike most ozone layers that protect us, this ozone layer hurts the quality of our air and contributes to air pollution. With this, not only is there a laundry list of threats methane has on our planet, but also our health. The Environmental Protection Agency states that exposure to ground level ozone and methane can result in numerous health complications for humans, including premature birth, stroke, kidney or heart failure, asthma, and central nervous system damage. Therefore, MethaneSAT not only supports the health of our planet and fights climate change, but it also improves public health and safety by reducing exposure to methane. In addition, what does this sustainable solution solve? MethaneSAT addresses the global climate crisis by making methane leaks more visible and trackable. By identifying and addressing these leaks faster, industries and governments can take action to reduce emissions more effectively and hold polluters accountable. As you can see in the image above, this graph demonstrates where we're headed, this top part, at our current speed, how much methane is being emitted, and how that is going to affect our climate. However, with the MethaneSAT and the role that MethaneSAT will play on our environment, we could reduce global emissions to right here. However, with that, there are a few drawbacks to this sustainable solution. To start, it has a high cost of launch and for overall maintenance. Its effectiveness is reduced during cloudy or stormy weather. And lastly, it does have the potential to confuse methane with other gases. However, despite the few drawbacks of the solution, there are plenty of pros that demonstrate the positive impact this technology will have on the environment. To start, it provides global monitoring of methane emissions. It detects and reduces emissions more effectively than other satellites, given that MethaneSAT provides information on where the emissions are coming from, how much was emitted, and the type of emission, whether that was gas or oil. Compared to multi-purpose satellites constructed by government space agencies, MethaneSAT was less costly and launched faster as well. Lastly, this satellite offers public access to its data. You can simply look up www.methanesat.org or search Google Earth Engine. If you look here, here's a photo from www.methanesat.org that I was able to see where exactly the total emissions are located that the MethaneSAT had scanned. For Google Earth Engine, though, I would like to note that they do have a new policy, which includes having to fill out a request form to access their data. As you can see here, here's a screenshot that I took of what exactly that form looks like. All said, why did I choose MethaneSAT for my Sustainable Solutions project? Although there are other satellites that can identify greenhouse gases, MethaneSAT caught my attention due to its specific focus on methane, a gas that has detrimental effects on the environment and human health. That said, now that I've learned more about the effectiveness of methane emissions from this course, I'm eager to not only learn more about how to combat emissions, but also discover new sustainable technologies, such as the MethaneSAT, that are working towards reducing methane production, which is why the satellite is so significant to me. In conclusion, MethaneSAT is a significant advancement in our battle against climate change. It provides sustainable, data-driven solutions to one of the most urgent issues of our time by assisting us in better understanding and managing methane emissions altogether. Thank you so much.